From the Home Slice News Center, this is the Daily Slice for Monday, January 9th, 2023. I'm D. Ray Knight. This is what's going on. West River law enforcement officials are pointing out problems in the criminal justice system. They're making pleas to state lawmakers about increased costs to public safety ahead of a session already defined by cutting taxes. Top officials with the Rapid City Police Department, Pennington County Sheriff's Department, and the state's attorney's office say they're seeing an increase in violence and meth on the streets. However, the STPB reports the most recent data from the Attorney General's office shows crime slightly decreased over the last 5 years. That data only goes through 2021. Despite this, West River officials say the criminal justice system is overwhelmed. An animal neglect investigation is continuing in Pennington County. Amy Rose has the story.
An animal neglect investigation has led authorities to seize more than a dozen horses from a South Dakota home. The Pennington County Sheriff's Office seized 14 horses and 2 donkeys from the home just north of Rapid City on Thursday morning. The animals were in a state of extreme neglect. A 72-year-old man has been arrested in connection with the case. A neighbor said she's been calling the sheriff's office about the animals since June of 2021. She said horses were starving and being housed in pens with dead horses.
Mark Gronowski threw for 3 touchdowns and ran 51 yards for another one as South Dakota State won its first national championship with a 45-21 win over North Dakota State. The Bison lost for the first time in their 10 FCS title game appearances. The 14-1 Jackrabbits are national champs in Coach John Stiegelmeier's 26th season at his alma mater. Amar Johnson rushed for 126 yards, and Isaiah Davis had 119, while both scored TDs for South Dakota State. Cam Miller threw 2 TD passes and 2 interceptions for the 12-3 Bison. In national and international news, President Joe Biden spent 4 hours visiting the U.S.-Mexico border yesterday. The president walked a muddy stretch of the border and inspected a busy port of entry on Sunday, but he did not appear to meet with migrants during his first trip to the region as president. His visit to El Paso, Texas, came as Republicans try to blame him for the record numbers of migrants crossing into the country. Republican Governor Greg Abbott handed Biden a letter saying the president has failed to enforce federal law. Later Sunday, Biden arrived in Mexico City for a 2-day summit of North American leaders. After finally being elected Speaker of the House, Representative Kevin McCarthy has bigger struggles ahead. Amy Rose has the details.
After an epic 15-ballot election to become House Speaker, Republican Kevin McCarthy faces his next big test in governing a fractious slim majority. That could come today when lawmakers are set to consider a rules package to govern the House. Drafting and approving it is normally a fairly routine legislative affair, but in these times, it's the next showdown for the embattled McCarthy. To become Speaker, McCarthy had to make concessions to a small group of hardliners who refused to support him until he yielded to their demands. Now those promises, or at least some of them, are being put into writing to be voted on when lawmakers return this week.
Now the latest on the war in Ukraine. Officials at a vocational school in eastern Ukraine are dismissing claims by Russia that hundreds of Ukrainian troops were killed in a missile strike there. Officials said Monday that a rocket merely blew out windows and damaged classrooms. The Russian Defense Ministry said its missiles hit 2 temporary bases housing 1,300 Ukrainian troops in the city, killing 600 of them late Saturday. Reporters visiting the scene on Monday saw a 4-story concrete building with most of its windows blown out. Inside, locals were cleaning up debris. There were no signs of Ukrainian military presence or any casualties. Your weather forecast from the Home Slice Weather Center. Plenty of sunshine today and a little breezy with a high of 50. Low tonight, 31. And that was your Daily Slice for Monday, January 9th, 2023. The Daily Slice is a production of Home Slice Media Group, hosted by D. Ray Knight with Amy Rose. Executive producer Mark Houston. Engineered by Chris Jacquez. I'm D. Ray Knight. Have a great day.